The Ship of Fools, Episode 92. The Starman. The day began like any other. Snipes tripping over his own boots, Aurora reminding him to eat something that wasn't candy, and Banning trying to keep the ship from falling apart emotionally or physically. Then Aurora materialized on the bridge with a tone she rarely used, confusion. "Commander Banning, Fleet Command has issued a personnel update." Banning sighed. "Who's getting reassigned now?" Aurora hesitated. "Snipes." Snipes perked up. "Me? Did I win something? Is it a raffle? Is it a punishment disguised as a raffle?" Aurora projected the message. Promotion confirmation. Subject: Snipes, Chief Engineer promoted to Admiral. 4-star. The bridge went silent. Snipes blinked. "I'm sorry." "What?" Aurora continued. "Immediate reassignment. Commanding Officer, Dreadnought FSS Bandolier. Crew. Complement, 1,247. AI complement, 54. Snipes screamed. Moxie screamed. Banning screamed internally. Snipes grabbed Aurora's projection. "I'm an admiral, a real admiral with stars, 4 of them." Aurora flickered. "Please, do not hug the hologram." Banning stormed into his quarters and opened a channel to fleet personnel. "Listen," he said. "There's been a mistake. Snipes is not—" The officer interrupted. "Sir, the system is automated. All promotions are final." "Automated? You let a computer promote people?" "Yes, sir. It's very efficient." "It promoted Snipes." "We will open an inquiry ticket." "How long will that take?" "Estimated wait time 6 to 8 months. Banning slammed his head on the desk. Snipes strutted around the Shadow Quest wearing a uniform he'd clearly stolen from storage and modified with glitter and cardboard stars. "Call me Admiral Snipes," he said to Moxie. "No." "Supreme Admiral Snipes?" "Absolutely not." "Grand High Admiral Snipes?" "Stop talking." Snipes beamed. "I'm going to sit in the big chair, the big chair, the one with lumbar support." Aurora dimmed. "Snipes, are you certain you want this?" He puffed out his chest. "Aurora, someone finally recognized my value. I'm ready." Aurora said nothing, but her lights flickered with worry. The Bandolier loomed in dock like a floating mountain, a dreadnought so massive it cast shadows on nearby ships. Snipes stepped aboard, eyes wide. The corridors were pristine. The crew stood at attention. The AEs greeted him in perfect monotone. "Welcome, Admiral Snipes!" Snipes whispered. "They know my name." Aurora, projected beside him, whispered back, "They know your rank." Snipes ignored her. He entered the bridge. The command chair sat on a raised platform, enormous, imposing, surrounded by consoles and holographic displays. Snipes sat. The chair adjusted automatically. He gasped. "It has lumbar support." Within an hour, Snipes was drowning. Crew reports piled up. Maintenance requests flooded in. AI status updates scrolled endlessly. "Admiral," said Tactical AI-17, "we require authorization for weapons calibration." "Admiral," said Engineering AI-04, "the reactor efficiency is at 98.7%. Recommend optimization." "Admiral," said Logistics AI-22, "we are out of coffee." Snipes panicked. "Why are there so many of you?" Aurora whispered. 54 AIS, Snipes. None of them with my personality." Snipes whimpered. "I miss your personality." Aurora dimmed warmly. "I know." Just as Snipes was considering faking his own death to escape the paperwork, alarms blared and the ship lurched violently, nearly throwing him out of the command chair. "Admiral," boomed Tactical AI-17, "an invasion fleet has entered the system." Snipes blinked. "Invasion? Like a real one?" Aurora scanned the incoming signatures. 23 enemy ships, heavy cruisers, siege platforms, boarding carriers. Snipes swallowed. That's a lot. The Bandolier shook again as a barrage of plasma torpedoes slammed into the shields. The lights flickered. Consoles sparked. Crew members braced themselves against the impact. "Shields at 84%, AI-04 reported. Snipes gripped the armrests. "Battle stations." The bridge erupted into motion. Officers rushed to their stations. Holographic displays flared to life. The ship's 54 AIs began chattering in perfect, emotionless unison. "Awaiting tactical directive. Awaiting engineering directive. Awaiting shield modulation directive. Awaiting coffee directive." Snipes screamed, "Stop asking me things!" Aurora flickered beside him. "Snipes, breathe." He did. And the panic cleared just enough for instinct to take over. Snipes stood, pointing at the tactical display. "Those cruisers have a blind spot in their firing arcs. If we angle the Bandolier 32 degrees starboard and drop power to the dorsal shields, we can slip between them." I-17 processed. "This maneuver is not in the manual." Snipes grinned. "Exactly." He turned to engineering. "Reroute auxiliary power to the lateral thrusters, overclock the reactor by 3%. I-04 hesitated. "This is unconventional." Snipes slammed his fist on the console. "Do it! That's an order!" The ship roared to life. The Bandolier surged forward, weaving between enemy ships with impossible precision for a vessel its size. The dreadnought's engines screamed as Snipes pushed them beyond safe parameters. Enemy cruisers fired, but their shots went wide. The Bandolier was moving too unpredictably. Snipes shouted, "Bring the forward batteries online!" AI-17 complied. "Firing!" The dreadnought unleashed a barrage of plasma lances that tore through the nearest cruiser's hull. The ship exploded in a brilliant flash. The crew erupted in cheers. But the battle was far from over. 3 enemy cruisers broke formation, moving into a pincer attack. Aurora warned, "They are attempting to box us in." Snipes' eyes widened. "Not today?" He pointed at the engineering console. "Dump coolant into the exhaust vents." AI-04 blinked. "That will create a thermal bloom detectable across—" "Do it!" The Bandolier vented superheated coolant, creating a massive cloud of glowing vapor that obscured the ship's position. The enemy cruisers fired blindly into the cloud. Snipes grinned. "Now swing us under their formation!" The dreadnought dove, engines screaming, slipping beneath the enemy ships. "Fire upward!" Snipes yelled. The Bandolier unleashed a vertical barrage that ripped through the cruisers' underbellies, their weakest armor. 2 cruisers exploded. The third spiraled out of control, venting atmosphere. The bridge shook with the force of the explosions. Moxie's voice crackled over the comm. "Snipes, what the hell are you doing?" Snipes shouted back, "Winning!" The largest enemy cruiser, a siege-class behemoth, charged its main cannon. Aurora whispered, "This is the shot that destroys us." Snipes' voice dropped to a whisper. "Not today." He turned to the helm. "Full power to engines. Bring us nose to nose with that cruiser." AI-17 protested. "That is a collision course. Trust me." The Bandolier surged forward, closing the distance at terrifying speed. The enemy cannon fired. Snipes shouted, "Roll the ship!" The dreadnought rotated mid-charge, the beam grazing the hull instead of hitting the reactor. Panels exploded. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Crew members were thrown to the floor. Snipes held on. "Fire everything we have!" The Bandolier unleashed its full arsenal. Plasma lances, rail cannons, torpedoes, beam arrays, a storm of firepower that tore through the enemy cruiser's core. The ship exploded in a blinding flash. Silence fell. Then cheers erupted across the Bandolier. Aurora whispered, "Snipes, that was brilliant." Snipes blinked. I know ships. I really know ships." The Bandolier limped back to home base, victorious but battered. Fleet Command hailed Snipes. "Admiral Snipes, your performance was unexpected." Snipes beamed. "Thank you. Also, your promotion was a clerical error. You are hereby demoted to ensign." Snipes blinked. "Oh?" Aurora placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Snipes, are you all right?" He smiled softly. "Yeah, I think I am." Snipes stepped back onto the shadow quest. Moxie smirked. "So, Admiral, how was the big chair?" Snipes shrugged. "Too big." Banning grinned. "Good to have you back." Snipes looked around the bridge, the cramped consoles, the flickering lights, the familiar hum of Aurora's presence. "This," he said, "is where I belong." Aurora brightened. "Welcome home, Snipes." Snipes smiled. "Call me Ensign Snipes." Aurora materialized beside him. "Snipes," she said softly, "a package arrived for you." Snipes blinked. "For me? From who?" Aurora projected the sender's signature, "Crew of the FSS Bandolier." Snipes froze. Aurora handed him a small, heavy box wrapped in military-grade cloth. Snipes opened it slowly. Inside was a golden metal plaque, hand-engraved, slightly dented, clearly made in a hurry. It read, "To Ensign Snipes, the man who saved us, the engineer who outthought a fleet, the admiral we didn't deserve, from the crew of the Bandolier." Snipes' breath caught. He whispered, They liked me." Aurora dimmed warmly. "They respected you." Snipes wiped his eyes. "I didn't even yell at them that much." Aurora smiled. "You yelled quite a lot." Snipes hugged the plaque to his chest. "I'm gonna hang this in my quarters above my bunk." Banning stepped forward. "You earned it." Snipes nodded. "Yeah, but I'm still glad to be home." Aurora brightened. "Welcome back, Snipes." Snipes returned to his responsibilities in the Shadow Quest with renewed confidence, a defined sense of purpose, and a clear awareness of his role within the universe. End of Episode 92. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, will continue.